So, good day everyone! Have you ever been part of a particular organization? If yes, then that's great. Well, let me take you to the wonderful world of different organizations. This is Christine C. Mariano and I'm from the Group 2 with the topic of School and Community Relation and has two subtopics which are first the linkages and networking with organization and global teacher. And I will be guiding you to identification of this video presentation on the topic linkages and networking with organization. So now let's set our learning objectives. At the end of our session, students will be able to describe and identify the linkages in networking organization in the teaching profession, value the importance of establishing linkages and network organization in improving education in the community. As we start, make sure to take down notes and listen carefully. As we go on this presentation, the school and its community in collaboration with public and private institutions and organizations are indeed inseparable that they are to create an impact on the lives of the student. All those as needed as well as define plans and creative efforts aim at establishing close affiliation between and among them. Thus, this interrelationship will be characterized by reciprocity and genuine sharing of responsibility, thus ensuring valuable gains in attainment of educational objectives. And now, results in this networking and linkages. Now, let us start linkages with organization. But first, what is linkages? Well, linkages, which is a term for interrelationship. It is an interaction between function and organization to promote integration and achievement of shared objectives as to create a band together to solicit support and assistance for purposeful activities. In short, it is a mutuality beneficial line, which means that organizations that establish connection with one another share whatever sources or needs to support each other. And with that, here are some working linkages between schools nationwide. So, we have international, national, or local linkages. Under international, we have some examples such as P. Lambda Theta, ENOTech, World Council of Curriculum and Instruction, WCCI, and Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, or ASCD. But first, let's go on with the first said international linkages, the Phi Lambda Theta. Phi Lambda Theta is an international honor society and professional association and women educator. Its main project is ETP, or Excellent in Teaching Project, honor students of studying teacher from the College of Education, while ENOTech upgrades the competencies of teachers from regions in all disciplines, and it updates teachers' knowledge and skill in implementing alternative learning systems. Meanwhile, to the World Council for Curriculum Institution, WCCI, it holds conferences in different member countries annually which are participated in by members for the local chapter. It promotes that educators have a responsibility to ensure that education contributes to the promotion of equity, peace, and the universal realization of human rights. And lastly, for our international linkages, Association for Supervision in Curriculum Development, ASCD. This is membership organization that develops programs, products, and services essential to the way that educators learn, teach, and lead. So, these linkages shows that even distant countries are making ways to communicate and share whatever they want and impart learning with each other. And moving on, we have national and local linkages, and these linkages are established between universities and college, offering identical degrees. It is also joint research that could be conducted by 2 or 3 universities depending on their field of expertise. So now, did we know some of international linkages? Let's go on to the next topic, which is networking. So, networking is designed to incorporate the strength and ability of services and expertise from both or among the group. And we have 4 domains under the networking system. We have networking with professional organization, foundations, government offices, and media. First, networking with professional organization. Under it, we have a consortium among universities and colleges. So for the background, what is a consortium? It is a network of colleges and universities, usually closed primarily, that share academic and extracurricular resources and is open to all students across all institutions. And some of these examples are the number one, TUF in Mijola Consortium. So these universities participate in a full consortium of resources, such that, for instance, the science teachers from each college meet regularly for discussion and best practices. So okay, still under networking within the professional organization, we have number two, subjects specialized, and some of these are BIOTA. BIOTA is an organization of biology teachers from universities nationwide. So they held an annual convention together and discussed the latest in their areas. Second one, we have MathEd, which is a council of mathematics, teachers, and education. Its major project is to upgrade the competencies of mathematics teachers through national conferences, workshops, and even training sessions conducted nationwide. And third, we have the Physics Teachers Association. It implements professional development programs, sponsors contests, and participate actively in international conferences as presenters. And lastly, we have the Chemistry Teachers Association. It's upgrading of chemistry teachers through national convention and assemblies. Next, so we have the number three, Teachers Education Institution. And we have two associations, which are the Philippine Association for Teachers Education, PAFTE. So this is an association composed of deans, professors, and instructions from colleges of education, both private and government universities. So they will allow touring the historic and educational sites of other countries, afford teach educators a good way of enriching their intellectual, cultural, and social pursuit. And next, we have the State University and Colleges Teachers Education Association, or SOCTE. And lastly, under networking with professional organization, we have number four, national organization. Under it is the FEAAP, or the Federation of Accrediting Association of the Philippines. So this is the group of agencies whose main function is to conduct accreditation of the educational qualification and facilities, starting from the administration, curriculum, faculty profile, and the learning environment. In here are some examples. PACUCOA, or Philippine Association of Colleges University Commission on Accreditation. Then, Philippine Accrediting Agencies for Schools, Colleges, and University. And Association for Accrediting Colleges and Universities of the Philippines. Now, moving on to our next slide, next partnership will be with the foundation. So basically, these are mostly companies or businesses whose mission includes CSR, or corporate social responsibility, which demonstrate that these businesses take an interest in wider social issues. With that, schools benefit from this kind of organization as it aims to deliver quality education services for the country's youth. And here are some examples of foundations that cater to school services and opportunities. So first, we have Educational Research and Development Assistant, or ERDA. Its flagship program, Education for Out-of-School Youth. Also, we have Metrobank Foundation Incorporation. Its flagship program, Education in Search for Outstanding Teacher. Next, we have also Networking of Outstanding Teachers and Education, or NOTED, committed to nurturing a culture of excellence and services among education. Next, Ayala Foundation. Next, Ayala Foundation Incorporation, or AFI. It's a non-profit organization which to fulfill the needs of the whole person through a holistic response. And lastly, the Philippine Business for Education. It responds to the need for conscious and sustained advocacy and education reform. So, how lucky are we to have this foundation, so much value in education, right? So, learning is indeed a great investment. So, moving on to the third domain, we have network with government offices. So, these are commonly departments in government that governs and take responsibility for educational matters, and here are some associations under it. So first, we have the Literacy Coordinating Council, which handles literacy training courses among the youth. Next, we have the Department of Science and Technology, or DST, which supports undergraduate and graduate scholarship programs in science and mathematics in the regional science teaching centers. And next, we have the Commission on Higher Education, or SHED, which organize technical panels for all professions, select institutions as centers of excellence in their chosen fields, and regularly benchmark the curricula of all degrees with international standards. And last but not the least, the Teachers Education Council, or TEC. It focuses its programs on teachers' education policies and standards in both DepEd and SHED. And finally, networking with media. So this type of networking enables education institutions with opportunities to improve the teaching learning process, and they are playing a big and influential role in the educational sector. And some of them are the following. So we have the broadcast. The broadcasters have the ABS-CBN and JMA Foundation, government and private channels, historic and cultural events, and publication in prints, and lastly, projected materials. So these projected materials could be a set of resources like motion pictures, overhead, and projections, and many more. Thus, it helps teachers to simplify, clarify, analyze, and synthesize relationships. So, to sum up, all working linkages establish very good communication in partnership with others to serve people in mutual interest. By developing long-term relationship from it will gain and create lasting impression towards people. You will be learning a life skill that has many applications for you, both personal and professional. Without knowing all these things, it is such a blessing for everyone who aspires to be educated, and for those who aspire to grow professionally in the field of teaching. That this association exists, which create rooms of opportunities, learnings, and journeys. We have discovered that the things that are relevant to our needs, interests, and goals bind us together. Also, we discovered that we cannot survive on our own. We require interconnections, and these ties bind us to enable us to help and encourage one another, making us more productive. And this lesson teaches us that school can only exist with the assistance of local, national, and worldwide institutions. These organizations were all run by active members and officials. I was previously unaware of this information and believed that school were only sponsored by this government. Recognizing that the school can stand up and provide full service as a result of this connection. And with that support of many organizations, education is now accessible to everyone. So this information will serve as a compass for me and us as future teachers, encouraging us to work diligently with dignity and passion. Also, education stakeholder support should not be taken for granted. And it wraps up my presentation. I hope you gain something valuable and inspire you to be a good future educator. So, if you have question or clarification, don't hesitate to ask me so we can converse about it. Thank you and God bless.